Are freelancing sites worth it? In this video, I'm going to talk about how I made $100,000 in 1 year on one of the most popular freelancing sites, and why I believe that even after all that, freelancing sites shouldn't be your primary or even your secondary source of freelance income. I'm Jamie. I've been freelancing for over 15 years now. I started at 17 in my hometown working with local businesses, and now I run the business with my wife in Los Angeles. And we've worked with brands like Google, Netflix, Lionsgate, Adobe, either directly or through various agency partners. So this stuff isn't theory, it's all knowledge that I've acquired along that journey, and my hope is to save you some time and make you some money. So if that sounds like your brand of whiskey, tap that subscribe button, like and comment for the algorithm to help get this content in front of even more freelancers that will get value out of it. We got to support the tribe. Okay, so as promised, part one of this video is how I used a freelancing site to make $100,000 in a year. The site I used is called Upwork. You've probably heard of it. It's like probably tied with Fiverr for the most popular freelancing job market. The key distinction of Upwork, and the reason it's the one that I chose to go with, is that it favors higher ticket projects that have a bespoke element to them. Whereas Fiverr's built on the concept of the productized service. So something that a freelancer kind of has built an assembly line for and has optimized for quantity. I have a two-step method for you that served me pretty well on this platform. All right, step one. When I signed up for Upwork, I'd already been freelancing for a couple years. I'd already worked with some impressive household brands. I had an impressive portfolio, but I still didn't get any bites on the site. No work, just nothing. I spent like a week applying for jobs on the site before I figured out what the snag was. Let's see if you can spot it yourself. Think about your own experiences. When you're determining whether or not you want to purchase something online, what's the first thing that you do? You look and see what the reviews are. You look and see who else has bought this thing and what their experience has been with it. That's what my profile was missing. Social proof. So for the next week, my proposal for every job ended with something to the effect of, I've been doing this for years, but I'm new to Upwork and I'm trying to build my presence here. I'm happy to underbid your lowest offer for the chance to earn your business. Let me know if you have time for a chat. That worked. I took a bunch of small gigs for like 50 to 100 bucks, which is substantially less than what we were charging at the time, but I wrote it off as like a marketing expense. They were buying my expertise with their money and I was buying their reviews with my time. And then after I had a nice little bank of Jamie was a joy to work with reviews, I went back to pursuing larger jobs at my usual rate. Step two. Once it was in fact time to start going after those higher paying gigs, my profile now armed with social proof, I split tested my proposal messaging. For those of you not familiar with the term, oftentimes ad campaigns will test different creatives. They'll have, a guy in a red shirt and then the same guy in the blue shirt. The copy under the creative might be slightly tweaked. And then they'll put a small spend behind each variation of the ad to see which one gets the reaction that they're going for. And then they go full force on that one. So that's what I want you to do with your job market proposals. Write 10 different templates, which you'll customize for each job request, and then send each out 10 different times. And then once you do that, you'll have the data to see which proposals got you the best responses, which resulted in the most work, which gave you the highest returns. With that data, you can create one or two ultra effective proposals that you know are gonna work for your business every time. All right, bonus tip. One of the best things I ever did to figure out what a client wants was to become one. Try it. For your next gig, rather than do it yourself, go on Upwork and hire someone to do it for you. You'll immediately get a sense of what's important to folks on the hiring side. You'll really care about finding someone who will do it correctly, who's reliable, who won't get you into trouble with your client. You'll look at their social proof. You'll almost exclusively look at their portfolio and how many other jobs they've completed successfully. And you'll want to talk to folks who clearly have a process and seem professional in their outreach. It's all the stuff that we just talked about. Also, you'll notice that while you do need to stay in budget, you really won't care about getting the cheapest. When your reputation's on the line, you'll care more about making sure you find someone who can deliver. Never forget that your clients feel the exact same way when they're looking at your profile. Okay, now that you know how to kick ass on these sites, I want to tell you why you really shouldn't bother that much. Job markets are good for you when you need money now. They're the sprint. But nurturing your own leads, building the mechanisms for your business that enable you to get in the room with the folks you want to work with, or even better, get them to come to you, that's the marathon. That's the long game. Tomorrow, the job markets could decide to raise their commissions to 70%, or the sites could go down, or your profile could get deleted. That would be catastrophic to a business that depends on them for lead generation. And it'd be barely felt by the business that was so busy building relationships on their own that they forgot they even had a profile on the site. That's who I want you to be. I want you to be the second person. I'm not saying to ignore the job markets completely. By all means, use the tricks that I've given you here to leverage that tool for your business. But diversify your lead generation in the same way you would a stock portfolio. That way you de-risk your business and also build assets for yourself that become more and more valuable over time. Could you let me know your experiences with freelancing sites in the comments? And also let me know if you have any questions and what you'd like to see covered in future videos. Again, if practical freelancing tips are something you'd like to see pretty regularly in your feed, tap the subscribe button. If you think this information was valuable and want to make sure your fellow freelancers see it as well, a comment and a like would help the algorithm do that. All right, see you next time.